So next week, Ade, is, we're heading for Valentine's Day. So we thought we'd do a kind of, a love themed thing. So we've got the title of next week's session is Letting Love In. And I suppose I was just very specifically curious around, how are you at letting love in?
It's interesting. I was reflecting on that theme in preparation for our call, and I felt my heart skip a beat. And even just now, as you were speaking to me, I felt it again. Because what comes up for me is vulnerability,
Mm.
this sense of exposure. I think of the definitions by Brené Brown, that risk, uncertainty, and emotional exposure. And that's what I feel actually when I hear that phrase or when it comes to me in terms of my own lived experience. So I think I'm getting better at it in terms of allowing myself to be in that space of vulnerability, that space of I have no idea what's going to happen. But very often I know that the stuff from the past gets in the way. So a lot of fear, a lot of I want this, I want certainty. This is too vulnerable. This is too uncertain. I want certainty. I want to be safe. So I think for myself, it's like this, it's like a pendulum. One moment I'm open and welcoming, the next moment I'm like closed and looking for the threats. So it varies. It depends on the day. What about you yourself? What do you like when it comes to letting love in?
Yeah, I kind of think I'm pretty good at letting love in. I kind of jump in. I think my problem, along with the vulnerability, which I wrote three words down: boundaries, trust, and vulnerability, and then realized those are three of the big pieces that we do on a lot of the programs that we do. But I think boundaries is the one for me. I get lost in love. I jump in. I'm swimming in it. I love it. But I kind of lose my sense of self. It all becomes about the love. And that often, well, usually doesn't serve me in the medium to long term. So I kind of lose what's important to me now and what do I still need to be conscious around. It's all about the love, the relationship. And I remember you said to me once when I was struggling in a particular relationship, you said, sometimes love is not enough. And that really stuck with me. Sometimes love is not enough, because I said, we both love each other, but we're struggling. And I think that I'm kind of really curious around what else is required, because love is such a manufactured and, it's communicated throughout the world as this wonderful thing we fall into. But actually, when I fall into it and I lose myself and I forget what some of the other components are required to build a healthy relationship, then there's trouble further down the line. So yeah, I'm good at the beginning, and it's the middle and the end that is problematic for me. So it's going to be really interesting to see what the other guys have to say at the session this week. I'm really looking forward to hearing their stories and experiences.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I think it's going to be a very powerful session because love is not just about intimate relationships, even though that might be the area that many of the guys are focusing on. It's about all aspects of life, letting love in. That phrase in itself is very expansive. So I'm really looking forward to the session.